Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here. Get ready for Gnosis. Well, one of the things that comes up and is always a problem in life, particularly if you have any values and you want to stand up for something in life. It was Churchill said that, who asked someone, do you have any enemies? And the person responded, yes, I do. And Churchill said, that's good. It shows you've done something in life. Yeah, I think that's very true. So psychic attack is always something that's out there. We live in a very negative environment, and evil, rotten people seem to be in power no matter what level they're on. And we all know that everybody's kind of a psychopath now. It's kind of shocking. You give people the facts and the information, and they object with it. They even go to their buddies and pals to attack you. After all, you're the voice of truth. You're not the stinky turd of their lies, so they want to foul you up by making you have the turd smell. Really kind of shocking and amazing what I've learned. I always seem to learn things. I always think I know things at a certain level, and of course I'm always correct, but God, things are always worse than I think. So when we come to psychic attack, one of the problems with psychic attack is you can't stop psychic attack in terms of the attack itself. Now, let me explain that. You can stop the effects, meaning you protect yourself and the energies come at you and don't really affect you. Now, you can't stop the energies from coming at you, which means if you are a psychic or sensitive person, you're going to feel the energies coming to you. It's just that they don't make any destructive effects on you. You know, this is very important. The only way you stop a psychic attack is you have to eliminate the attacker, either by disrupting them so they stop attacking you, or they give up attacking you because you're protected and nothing is happening. Or the attacker is taken out of the picture entirely. So this is how stopping psychic attack works. And it's always something that people are confused about or don't particularly like because they still sense the negativity around them. Well, that's always going to be there. And you're going to have that certain psychological effect. Now, the only other way to stop some of these feelings is to send back the energy that was sent to you. So you're taking that energy, but still, how do you take that energy? You have to sense it, that is there, and you have to send it back. So the whole idea is you then send it back to that person, and that's a way a lot of people like to do because they feel that's a more positive way of doing things. Now, the whole issue of justice and retribution is something that I don't think this is much of an issue. I remember this being a terrible issue in the 80s and 90s, particularly with the two-faced Wiccas and their threefold law. They never believed in going out and attacking somebody. I guess they feel it's okay to leave a rapist, murderer, pedophile. It's okay. We don't want to attack anybody. Yet they were the first ones to go after you with both hands, feet, and entire bodies anytime they got into a conflict. They certainly weren't turning the other cheek. But when you advocated protecting yourself and being aggressive opposition, they had problems with it. People wouldn't take my ads in the Wiccan magazines in the 90s and 80s because they thought I was such a negative because I was stating this policy and reprinting grimoires without screwing with them, which I never do with classic books. We used to put previews in there saying, well, this is historical data. We don't touch it. That's right. We don't change the seals and everything else like some goofball Satanist did. I draw nice circles. I said, you messed it all up, you stooge. So the whole idea is we leave the original documents, originally they were made hundreds of years ago, and that includes the text, which we have the only proper translations of. Translations done by other bogus professors, teachers, or like one guy does, he gets translations from these other people and then he interprets the translations. That's a real master occultist. So the whole idea is these are the kind of things that actually go on. So you don't want to change anything in these books. So if you think skinning somebody alive or eating a baby, which I don't think any of these texts really say, they do tend to deal with demonic entities. But that's, if you don't know what's right or wrong, well, you got a problem to begin with, and I'm not really sure that anything said one way or another matters. And everybody knows what's right or wrong. You don't need it in no bookie. You don't need 10 little rules coming from the stump crotch of the world belief systems. You need to get in touch with the universal understandings of life, and everybody gets those. So the the actual retribution and sending back energies to people or going after people who attack you or will attack you, you know who your enemies are. Why wait? You know, this is something that I've rarely done in my life. I just don't want to take the time. I have other issues, and I've constantly fought that, and I'm getting back into it yet again. I keep starting it and going back. There are some troublemakers that need to be taken out on all levels. So the whole idea is that these things need to be looked at. Now the point is, how do you handle these things? So sending back energies is something people feel very comfortable with, and of course it is a way to stop effects again. So you do rituals to send back all the energies. You're using we have many formulas for these things. In terms of protection formulas, firewall protection. These are all things that stop energies from affecting you. You can dial that in on your machine. Then you can put our firewall protection rate card on there. These are all the very powerful things that work really well. But in terms of not feeling anything, if you're under attack from people in general, you're going to have a feeling of this negativity. You're going to feel this negativity because, especially if you're tuning into it. Now, if you want to send it back, you have to tune into it well. So this is where you get into the problem of sensing energy, grabbing it, and then sending it back by using different rituals. And of course, there are many different formulas that you can use of ours that are specifically made this way, are particularly alchemical formulas. We have crossing, we have black arts, we have Yaza oil, which is for using necronomic spirits. We have Eula, which is very powerful. So there's many formulas that you can send at somebody to add to the impact of that. But, you know, once someone starts a fight, all customs are thrown to the wind. They have now attacked you, and you need to attack them back and to get rid of their problem. We find that evil people in general don't stop their evil activities until something has happened that they are out of the picture one way or another. And that one way or another is the fact that they have to be occupied somewhere else. So the whole idea, if you are protected strong enough, things won't affect you. And when you get to a higher enough level, well, your actual feeling you get will be actually kind of minuscule, so that we won't have that problem. So if these bounce off you enough and you have a strong enough feel, and this is something that in this day and age, people ought to be doing huge amounts of protection. And we'll be coming out with much more protection stuff as well. We're going to be coming out with a protection device just by itself, a machine that you plug in, put different protective elements on it, and this is something everybody should have in their home running 24/7. I have several of these going, and it's just something you got to do every day or keep it going 24/7. We live in a very negative world, and that's just the way everything is. And it's it's not really the Satanists we have to worry about. It's that rest of that real evil population, like your next door neighbor, your do-nothing police, your governments, and everybody else. So this is where the real scum come from. So we all have to protect ourselves as much as we can from there. But you got to remember, there's no way to stop attacks, any attacks on you. How do you stop an attack? Well, you don't stop an attack. How do you stop psychic attack? Well, you don't stop any of these. What you stop is the effects, the detrimental, the problematical, and things that basically could kill you. I mean, things that, you make the wrong move because you are cursed or under attack. You're driving a car, and then you make a bad move, and you get into a serious accident. Or something similar to that, which can be deadly or in general, or you can get extremely hurt. You make bad decisions in general. So this affects your life. So this is the really problem out there. So what you're doing is stopping those effects. The fact that you may feel something or negative energy around you, well, what are you supposed to do about that? Well, you can cleanse your area. You can burn banishing incense. You can spray your area with uncrossing, banishing, Satan be gone. There's a whole bunch of formulas, and all of these are listed on our website, and highly recommended. That's why we recommend people spray. I prefer the sprays over incense, which tends to be smoky, and a lot of people don't like it, and you got to burn them on charcoals. I mean, they are very pure stuff, but there is that actual element. Now, if you get one of our sprays, you just spray the area that you feel an attack coming to 2 to 4 good sprays in your area, and you're going to neutralize any of those energies. And you can do that in a place where you're doing some of your work or some place where you feel under attack. Now, you can do this in your car. You can do it in your office. Any place you spend a lot of time. A couple of spritz is well worth it. It smells good. Nobody really notices it. You don't have to have a big incense burner on your office desk. So you can see the practicalities of it, and you can use it in your car. I mean, you could use it anywhere if you wanted to. You could use it in a bus and a taxi. Nobody's really going to notice too much of that, but that's what's nice about sprays and something I highly recommend. Get your area, all the negativity out of it, especially if you want to do psychic or other types of rituals. And if something is coming at you, the minute you feel it, you hit it with banishing spray. Burn a little banishing incense. This is how you get rid of that energy. So the attacks you should not be feeling. Now, if you present a strong enough barrier around them, the psychic attacks will still come, but most likely it'll just be a minor nuisance, and it'll get down to a level that is so low that you will not feel it very much. But this is when you have, and you can't, this is not something someone can do for you. You have to do that yourself. You have to have the incense. You've got to have the sprays. Again, there's banishing, Satan be gone, even uncrossing works. There's firewall protection. There's a whole bunch. Go to the formula page and find the one that you kind of trigger into, because all the formulas are subtly different. And you have to pick the subtlety that you feel best. You can also, as I said, use you don't want to spray these in your atmosphere, but you can use the more forceful justice oils like Eula and other things. Generally, these go on candles or on pieces of paper, and you are projecting them. You don't want to spray Eula or Yaza, the necromantic spirits in your home and have that residue there. You want to have the residue of protection, etc. Like firewall protection is a classic. There's other classic ones. Van, the classic voodoo formula from New Orleans that some people use exclusively because it brings positive spirits to you. So it's one of those catch-all, use-all formulas, Van. There's Marie Laveau on crossing as well. These are all things that, in a lot of ways, this is essential in your spiritual toolbox, and everybody should have these at home to take care of it, especially if you're having any kind of problems. But one of the ways to make sure you don't have any problems is do this ahead of time. So if you're burning, banishing, firewall protection incense, or spraying your room, all of this stuff stops attacks. Don't wait until they're pounding on your door. This is something that tends. So if you're in a situation or you're having a lot of negativity, or there's illness problems, or there's argument problems, well, you've got negative energy around. Get rid of it. It's very easy to do. So get yourself one of these sprays. I would recommend people get a selection of all the alchemical products. They last a long time, so once you get them, you will be able to. Now these bottles, these spray bottles, you can fill them up 2 more times after the first one. So you get 3 bottles for the price of 1. I do this all the time because the actual formulas, the essential oils we use, are so strong that once you fill them up again with water, they're just as good. So what a bargain there. You get the spray that you can use 3 times. And remember, quality stuff costs a little. It's an investment, but considering the cost of everything out there, and now that it costs, what is it, $45 for a little cologne bottle, which makes you smelly nice, but it's not doing anything past that. Well, we highly recommend that you understand that and invest in your life. Take care of things now so you don't have problems later. It's like getting sick. Fighting to get well is a problem. Staying well is much easier. So that's what you want to do. When we all have negativity, everybody is crossed. Everybody should be using uncrossing sprays. You should be uncrossing yourself at least 1 candle a month. It's better to have 1 candle a week with uncrossing oil on it to get rid of the negativity that is built around you. Do this now until you get up to high stages of it, and then it's difficult to get rid of. So hopefully that's my practical common tip for the day. Follow the links below so you can go over to the formula page and arm yourself, take care of yourself, and live a great, happy, unstressed life by taking care of yourself now. Until next time.